Welcome on back. If you've been annoyed by how incomplete my house has been thus far, well, today we're going to be working on that. So over here I've got some hopper botany pots growing crimson funguses and warped funguses from the nether. To get those you just need to have one of those mushrooms and then crimson nelium or warped nelium. I forgot to show off how I made those, but there's a mechanism building where you can throw a mushrooms and netherrack and it'll turn the netherrack into those two types of blocks. And then to make the pots you just need some bricks and some terracotta. You can also find pots in villager houses, which is where I've got all my pots from. And then to the southwest there's this big old badlands just absolutely full of terracotta, so it's very simple for me to get the materials for that. Now, I went with these because the wood is non-flammable, so it'll be perfect for building a house. And I want to go with the redwood. And I clearly need to set up more lighting closer to my house. Anyways, I figure red for the walls. I'll just keep the foundation gray. And for these corner pieces, I'll throw up the stem just because it's got that cool, I guess, veiny texture to it. Just to break up the monotony of just plain red. And yeah, just gonna start building up a proper wall. Also keep different mobs from coming out. You think I would at the very least have built my temporary walls as 2 high instead of just 1. And don't worry, we're not going to sit here. This isn't a 40-minute video of me just doing this. But then I also want to leave some space open to get some glass. Or for windows, I mean. And I get glass for the windows. Then I realized something. Doing some spelunking, I found some extra diamonds. So we can go on ahead and make the crafting grid, which required one of these advanced processors to be made. And here I got a golden furnace, where I just threw a bunch of jungle planks. I ended up using crimson wood for planks, or not planks, for ladders, just because, well, again, they're non-flammable and I don't want my ladders burning. While we're waiting for that to go through, I'll just continue building this glass structure in the center of the house. By the way, have I mentioned with the gold furnace, it burns faster than the iron furnace? It uses the same amount of fuel either way, it just does the process faster. Now we got all those. Just grab this grid here. We have one of the absolute most useful things ever. I can now craft here in the grid using materials here in the grid. No longer do I need to futz about with making sure I have whatever in my inventory. And I think 3x2 windows look better than 2x2. Now to go with our red walls, we may as well make proper doors. Fortunately, the arc wood doors don't have a certain door style that I want, namely one with a window. Now I need some iron, and all of my ingots are still down here. With all of my drawers and whatnot. Need to work on a way on getting the ingots into there instead of going from the blast furnace directly into the refined storage system. We'll do that later this video, in fact. Now, if you make a carpenter's bench and then make yourself a door, you get different kind of door styles, and this is the one I want. Big old window. Now this one caught my interest. It does have some windows on it, but not exactly the most useful window. Especially not compared to this. I mean, I guess I could have just gone with a glass door, but those look better. Now, doing a little extra work, waiting for sand to be melted down into glass. And I had to go get a bunch of buckets of water, because I'm sure you guessed, I'm going to make an aquarium. That little statue thing there is a reward for opening, like, I don't know, 50 chests or something like that, which I pretty much got just raiding the different villager housings, because they have like 2 or even more of those randomized chests. Frustratingly though, it can't be underwater, it'll just create air around itself. Now I did a cut because I was having some issues actually trying to fill up the aquarium. What I should have been doing from the start is basically building like flooring 1 tile down, because then it just worked out so much easier to get like all the water to like fully source out like this. And then once you do that, you just need to break the blocks. As an aside, the whole auto swap out hotbar thing in this pack is very frustrating with buckets. And looks like it's all source blocks up here, so we'll just break these all down. Yeah, there we go. And no sounds of rushing water, thank God. So yeah, big old aquarium right in the center of the base. Now, of course, we'll need to make it look a little more pretty. And I forgot that I threw all the sand I had into my backpack. And I'd just like to mention, if you notice my oxygen bar isn't going down, it's because using a silent gear, made a full suit of lead armor. And weirdly enough, lead armor gives you water breathing. You think something that would make you sink like lead probably wouldn't be so good in water, but eh. Now some grass in there looks nice, except I think the sand should be on level with the floor, not up 1 level like it is. We will worry about that later. Now we just need to go get some fish. And just want to show off some work that I have been doing in the background of the farming area. That amethyst geode I found in like episode 1, I've mined out the non-budding amethyst and brought it over, and then converted them all into slabs so I can double up like how far, or like, you know, how many different blocks I can place down. And time to go get some fish. I mean, just fill a bucket with water and then use that bucket of water on a fish and you will capture the fish. Also, there are these creatures around. I haven't seen these before. Sirens. What I learned later is to get their little charm, you need to give them a sea pickle. And then on my way back, hey, tropical fish. Those would look better in an aquarium than just, trouts, carp, perch. Just head on back home. This nifty little entrance I made on the cliffside. Now, what I've read is fish that you capture in a bucket and then release, don't despawn, so these should be good in here. We'll fill it out a little bit more later, but for now, this is a good start. Next up, I should probably put a roof on my on my base. Can't count the number of times I've had a zombie or a skeleton come dropping in from up top. And for the roof, I want to go with the blue blocks. Now up here, whoops. Up here, it's not meant to be a second floor. I want to have a little gap up here, though, to hold wiring and pipes and whatnot. And then this will let me have another way to get into the aquarium if I need to. And this is now the roof. It should be leveled with the nearby, I guess, hill that this crater is kind of nestled into. Originally, I wanted to make like a half dome kind of house, like using stairs on the edges and then, have it go up until it meets in the center. But about a quarter of the way through, I realized, wow, this is going to be extremely tall, and I changed my mind. And like I said, I wanted to run like wires and cabling up here, so we'll run the refined storage cable up here just to get the cables kind of out of sight. And here I misunderstood something. You can make facades, and guess those would the block would function like a cable, but it would look like whatever block you combine it with. Yeah, that didn't work out, so whatever. We'll just deal with having a very obvious hole in the ceiling. And then I also want to have the cable sticking out of the roof just so I have something planned for the nearby areas here to the left. So I want to get a cable up here so I can easily move it on over for whatever item transport needs. And then start building a cable just to pass over the aquarium. That way I can do whatever inventory stuff on the other side, or even have the cable go out towards the farm. Now that I got all that set up, I'll just build the roof. We'll go ahead and cut that out. And we are back. What I've done in the aquarium is I've built some dirt blocks in each quadrant of the aquarium so I can get the water out, and then I basically lower the floor. That way I can get sand on the ground level instead of having it up one level. And a neat little trick, if you shift and right click while staring at a block just right, you'll be able to place a block underneath another block without having to get underneath it yourself. And while doing this, I made sure to throw all the fish back into the buckets just in case. I have had issues where I'll drain something and just in time for a fish to decide it's going to jump on down and suffocate. The hell was that noise? I've never heard that before. What the heck? Anyways. Damn jellyfish. Yeah, they sting you if you get too close. But hey, just some more grass. The kelp will grow, so I can just shave off whatever top part comes up to fill up the rest of the aquarium. We'll call that done for now. Next up, we're going to want to set up the whole ingot situation. Because remember, I'm doubling all of my ingots. I'm having a whole lot, and they're taking up a lot of space inside of my refined storage system. So what we're going to want to do is create a few items for the drawer system. And this is why I didn't want to use up my last diamond last video, because I need one to make this item. And to make both of these, I need to grab some gold ingots from downstairs. And if you shift and then punch it, you'll get a full stack from the drawer, which is nice. So the linking tool is something that'll be useful for... Well, I'll show that off in a minute. The other tool I'm making here will let you lock a drawer. And the purpose of that is that, like, whatever the drawer holds is what you have in it. If you empty it, then it counts as an empty drawer. But if you lock it, even if you take the last item out, the drawer will still only be for that one item. Now, the whole reason I want to make a linking tool is for the storage container. And what this does, it'll let me link drawers to it. And I'll show why that'll be very useful here soon. But what you can do is it'll show you how many items are in all the drawers it's linked to. And instead of needing to go to each individual drawer to put stuff in it, you can put it into the controller. And next, I'm going to want to make some compacting drawers. I'm going to want to make a whole lot of these because they have a very useful feature. I'll show that off in a second, but first, let's get the controller set up. Just going to pop that right here in the center. And just like that, all of these are getting connected to that drawer. And I don't believe you even need to have them, like, be connected to each other or to the drawer. I'm pretty sure it's possible to, like, mark a drawer like that's nowhere close. Oh, hey, I'll show this off too. You can also upgrade drawers because they can only hold so many. 2,000 ingots at default. But with this thing, it multiplies it by like 8 times. So now I just off the copper upgrade, I can have 16,000 ingots in it. Don't think I'll ever hit that much. And then right there, I slapped on an external storage onto the drawer controller. We'll just want to get that connected with the cables. And frustratingly, for some reason, if you have to shift right click on the part, otherwise it doesn't work. Just go ahead and speed this up. And an important thing you'll want to do is set the priority to a higher number than 0. That way the system will prioritize putting items into this storage system rather than into your refined storage. Also got a parrot egg at some point for a quest reward, so that's nice. Now, I'm kind of derping here because I'm trying to figure out why the stuff that's already inside the refined storage system isn't coming into the drawers. But that's because items already in the system don't come back out. You'll have to manually do that yourself. But hey, all the ingots are now in the crafting grid, even though it doesn't use up any of our RAM or storage disk space. So that's nice. And then whenever something gets into that chest with the exporter for the ingots, it'll first try to put everything into the drawer system. And only when the drawer system gets full, then it'll start putting it into the refined storage stuff. But now that we have access to all of our ingots, I can finally make this compacting drawer. And whoops. Turns out you can't upgrade a thing before you actually have an item in there. So what this does is it will allow you to pull out items that like stack. So, 9 nuggets makes an ingot, 9 ingots makes a block. Make sure you throw the nugget in, because if you throw in the ingot, it won't let you access nuggets. Now, for some reason, my genius brain decides, you know what I should do? Manually put items into the compacting drawer instead of doing something much simpler. What am I doing here? I think I was trying to change the item in hopes that it'll forcefully move everything to that other chest. What I should have been doing is just throwing up this here pipe. Do this, and there we go. The items, the ingots from that drawer will start going into the compacting drawer. We can see the number going up on the bottom left there. Now, the advantage to this, not only can you pull out, instead of needing to ensure you have blocks, nuggets, and ingots, it'll just let you take whatever you need. So if I want to craft stuff too, it'll also just dynamically like, oh, you need nuggets for this? Okay, here are the nuggets. You don't have to break down an ingot first. Or, if you need to make a copper block or whatever, you don't have to combine 9 ingots first. It'll just give you a block. So yeah, they are very useful. Now that we've got all that sorted out, let's upgrade the backpack. The first few upgrades are trivially easy. You just surround a backpack with some iron. The next one you just surround with some gold ingots. Next upgrade needs a bunch of diamonds though, so I can't do that right now. And one of my rewards here was an advanced beehive, so that's nice. Go ahead and store that for now. Also got another golden furnace, that's useful. And look at all that inventory space. Also, it has 3 slots for upgrades, which will be nice in putting like auto feeders or stack limit upgrades. But enough about that. How about we check out that Thornbloom Towers first? Just want to show off, I attempted to save the villagers from themselves by fencing off this little drop. But they're quite persistent in dropping down there anyways. Not as bad as what we're about to see here, though. I have no idea what's going on. I think like the villager breeding system is like, oh hey, there are currently unclaimed beds, so we need to make more villagers. So then the villagers reproduce. But then they can't actually reach a bed to claim it. So then this game still thinks, oh, these beds are unclaimed, time to make more villagers. Now I was gonna actually head into the ocean right there. There's a bunch of coral and sea pickles that would be great for the aquarium, but let's hit this up first. As an aside, the whole building is made out of terracotta, so I don't even need to go to the Badlands to get terracotta. I can just take what I need from here. I'm trying to find the perfect, I guess, strut to break into. That first one had bad guys right out the gate, so we'll just hold off on that. And actually, something I want to show off first. Should be somewhere around here. Is this little thing here where it was absolutely covered in red wool. So I would just, whenever I needed wool, instead of finding a sheep, I would just come over here and take wool from that. It also has a bunch of sea lanterns, so that's nice. But if you listen closely here, I hear bees. Yep, at the bottom of this is a, I guess, apiary. Just a bunch of beehives. I'm assuming, okay, those ones are full. So I'll break this one. Break these empty ones, and oh, there's a bee in this one. And now it's coming after me, but the eyes are not red. Oh, never mind, now they're red. Well, that's frustrating. Let's grab these bee cages. And that hive suddenly lost its honey. That's weird. Now, I'm hoping these bees don't stay hostile after I release them. But hey, some bees, I got a bunch of free hives. Hell, I got the advanced hive as a quest reward, so I guess I'll be doing bees sometime soon. But for now, let's go exploring. Not bad, more diamonds. Various enchanted equipment and whatnot. This will be good to do like a proper deep dive, but for now I'm just kind of lightly exploring. So I wonder if I'll ever actually fully explore this area. I mean, have you seen how it looked outside? The place is huge. Those skeletons are starting to sound louder. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a bunch of skeletons. Time for a tactical retreat. Kind of hoping some of them might fall down, but doesn't look like that is happening. So here's my big brain play. I could have sworn that chains were climbable. Let's try this again. Maybe I just need to get a little bit closer. Maybe it would help if I actually jumped. Well, I heard a clink sound, but apparently you can't actually climb the chains. I mean, I definitely touched it that time. So instead of climbing up that chain, let's just do this. Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, this works still. Time to pull out my trusty bow. Now, what the... Apparently one of these skeletons, I'm noticing they have a, like, enchanted pants, and I'm guessing they have some sort of projectile rebound enchantment. And in their hands are potions of harming. And I do believe that potions of harming will heal undead. So the fact that all these skeletons are like mobbed up together means that for each one you kill, not only do they drop a potion that damages you, but it also heals the others. And God, look at all those hearts that they got. And I might be imagining things, but I feel like my sword does way less damage than my bow. Wonder what's up with that. Yeah, so kind of getting my ass kicked. Don't have the greatest weapons right now. So let's just do one thing before running back home. I want their spawner. Because the spawner, like, saves. Like, it knows what kind of mobs it spawns. It won't become a generic skeleton spawner. That spawner will spawn more of these types of skeletons. Come on, buddy, if you don't want to get close. And I believe these skeletons, like, drop more stuff. I mean, they're dropping 2 bones, 2 arrows, so... Not too bad to bring one of these home for a spawn farm. Now that it's daytime, before heading back home, going through the ocean. Sea pickles, as well as coral. You know, I probably should have brought some clippers to see if I could clip the, like, blue grass that's on the side of the blocks. And, well, since I'm in the water, I think I was trying to also find a certain type of fish, so that's why I'm going to kind of go up to a few of them and look at them. I'm trying to find Minecraft fish, not, you know, fish added by a mod, because there was a cat. That cat spawn egg I got, like, last video. I need a proper fish to tame them. bluegills look pretty nice, and there was that one tuna. These will be great additions to the aquarium. Now, because of space, I don't want to go too crazy and grabbing a whole bunch of blocks, but I'm still not too sure how I want to exactly decorate this, so just leave it at that. Now, because technically there are no source blocks on the bottom here, I'll have to actually get more water and then pour them onto the sea pickles to get them to actually light up. So worry about that later. But for now, the aquarium grows. That'll be my little pet project. So that's everything. Next time, I think I'll do some power. Later.